funny how in the course of a college basketball season, how things change, right? You never know. I mean, we got an all-league level player out. They had an all-league level player out, and it was a hell of a battle. But you watched us come into this building and score. First 6 games, we averaged 100 points a game in here. And tonight, we won because of our defense. And we've won 3 straight games since the debacle where we gave up 100 and whatever 3 weeks ago. We've locked in. And when this is all over, we might look back at that Indy game and say it's the best thing that happened to us because we, as a team, have locked in defensively. We were really, really good in the second half. Pretty good in the first half, too. I thought more it was neither team. I mean, it was an ugly game. But in the second half, we shot 56% in the second half, so it started to flow, and we locked in. And they made some big shots to keep it close, and we opened it up by getting stops. And more importantly, we got rebounds. Now, their best offensive rebounder didn't play, but our best defensive rebounder didn't play. You're up here? I thought Hogue would be up here, which I thought he'd get mad at me for saying that, but hopefully he won't listen to this. So, yep, we're pleased to get the win. I told him after the Indy game, you know, we're at Detroit, at Fort Wayne, who's tied for second with us, and Northern Kentucky, who I think talent-wise is as good as anybody in the league. We got those 3 games. Nobody thinks you're going to win those 3 games. So we can make up for this loss if we go win these 3 games, and they locked in and did it. So I'm really pleased with them.
Brody, as we flip the calendar to February, we talked about on the broadcast a little bit. You can kind of see March a little bit. This seemed like a March type game where you guys had to dig deep. It wasn't necessarily a work of art, but did you feel that you just had to just dig deep and turn a corner in this game?
100%. I thought it was like Coach just said. It was a very ugly first half. I think it was 30-29 at the end of the first half, and then. I think in the locker room, we just knew that, you know, even if shots aren't falling, we have to be perfect, or not perfect, but we have to be our best on the defensive end and win this game on the defensive end. And I think people stepped up like Warren. I thought Warren impacted the game so much, and Mike was rebounding his butt off. And, you know, Brew got in foul trouble, but I think he made big plays down the stretch as well.
Brody, I know some time has passed since you were dealing with that bug against Detroit Mercy, but since then, was there a little bit of a process trying to get back into kind of game shape or anything? Or because it seemed like today we were full throttle.
Yeah, I was tired out there, obviously, but I think it was more so like getting my strength and my weight back. I lost like 8 pounds, so just trying to get back everything that came out, I guess. Yeah, you know, we got Terry. I'm in the right building to be able to get back into where I need to be and just drink a lot of fluids and eating the right food. So,
Warren, we've talked a lot about this basketball team and how you never know whose night or whose afternoon it's going to be. Did you have any feeling of that? You knew obviously your role was going to expand with IG being out, but did you have a feeling that tonight was going to be your night to some degree?
No, not really. I think the biggest thing was just get a move to the hoop, just have to be energetic, run down the court, make plays. And I think Brody and, the team just found me, got me open shots. So just playing my role, I think it just expanded the game for me.
For Warren, has something changed did something change for you in practice when Isaac went down, or was it just kind of same old business? And what kind of was that like for you?
We changed the position. We moved him in the zone to the back hoop because we didn't think Fort Wayne had a big post presence. Their guy that played down there is a big, strong kid, but he's not a scorer. He's an offensive rebounder. And it allowed us to get Warren playing at the hoop, which we'd never put him at. He learned it quickly, and he's played 50-plus minutes the last 2 games. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's scientific, but it might be right. The last 2 games that he played the hoop, they're 20 for 80 from the 3. The teams that have played us. 20 for 80. Both teams took 43s. And Cleveland State's going to take 40 more. So having him at the hoop, you're going to see him even when Isaac comes back. You're going to see him at the hoop. Now, when we play a Wright State or people that have a real big, strong presence in there, I don't know. We'll try, but when we play these teams that shoot the three, this was sometimes there's collateral damage to an injury, and sometimes there's intelligence gathered, right? And in this case, we gathered intelligence. This kid's really good in this position. And even that, when the little guys drove the hoop, he altered shots in there because he's long and athletic, and I really like him at the hoop. And obviously, I must, because there's 26 minutes he played tonight. That's the most he's ever played in a college basketball game. And you earn your minutes, and he's earned them.
Anything else for Warren or Brody?
Warren, can you follow up on what Coach, how have you enjoyed the position kind of change in this new role? And did you know you had this in you and you were ready for it when it was brought to you?
Yeah, I always felt confident, in the zone, but going to the hoop, just watching a lot of film, the day I found out, the whole Monday night was just watching film with, Baru, Mike at the hoop. And then obviously the team joke because, I'm a little bit smaller than, the bigs, but I think just using my athleticism and just flying out to the corners and just using my intelligence has definitely helped in the zone, and now I've embraced it.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Questions for Coach?
Camp, just looking at you on the sideline, certainly in the first half, beginning of the second half, was this one of the more slugfest, I guess you kind of the way to describe it, just that things weren't going right, but the guys kind of dug deep and you just fought your way through it?
I didn't feel very good last night, and I felt really worn out. And we had an event on campus that I should have been at, and I had to make a decision. Do I go to that, or do I give my team the best I can give them today? Because I felt they were going to need me today. And they didn't need me intelligence-wise or that. Maybe a few set plays here and there that, we got some layups on and that. But I thought they needed the emotion. And I think I was much more emotional today than I've been. And I think a lot of that had to do with the circumstance and the situation. And we needed that. They needed to be pushed and yelled at and motivated and that, because this was such a big game. This could be the game that determines if we're first or second or third or what, and now we've got a chance to win this thing. We've got a chance to win this thing because they battled their tails off and we stuck together. They asked me after the game what we say at halftime, and yeah, it was all positive at halftime. I was upset that they missed free throws and that they missed layups, and that we weren't matching physicality. We were bitching about not getting foul calls. Well, okay, yeah, you got fouled, but they didn't call it. We fouled them, and they didn't call it. So if they're not going to call it, you've got to get stronger, physical, maybe pump fake a little more, maybe put a shoulder down. When Baru got the charge, I was the happiest guy in the building. He put his shoulder down and went, and they called a charge. I was good with that, because now that's how you got to play if we're going to win this game. It's got to be a physical. They're missing, maybe one of their three best players. We're missing one of our three best players. It was a dogfight. The first half was a Northern Kentucky, Oakland dogfight. Every year when those two teams play, no matter where it is, usually like we beat them there last year, they beat us here last year. 2 years ago, we won in overtime here, we lost in overtime there. 3 years ago, we beat them here, they beat us. No, we beat them there, they beat us here. Every year when we play them, I think they're really well coached. I think Darren is a tremendous basketball coach. They have great tradition, and they're not going to roll over because a guy was hurt. And so I felt that I had to be emotionally involved in the game today. And I stayed home last night. I went to bed at 9 o'clock, and when I woke up this morning, it was 9:45. And I will tell you, I haven't done that in 20 years. So if I seemed a little more juiced today, I got some sleep.
Coach, I wanted to hear your thoughts on kind of how you thought, or how aggressive you thought the team was. Obviously, it was a very physical, and kind of the refs let them play both ways. But still, you made 17 free throws 17 free throws. They only took 13. So I was just wondering the level of aggressiveness you thought you had.
That's what we do. And, they don't foul a lot either because they play zone 2. But they picked up full court. I mean, Brody only had 2 free throws at halftime. So, you can Brody leads the country in free throws, and a coach in this league in a post-press game conference after his game, why he would bring up an Oakland player in his press conference, I have no idea. But the kid's killing it, and people don't want him to kill it, so Brody is 5'8". He's great with the ball, and he's putting his head down and going. And if you put 2 hands on him, it's supposed to be a foul. That's the rule. And in the first half, I was screaming because I thought he was getting hit, but it is what it is. In the second half, we got the lead, and they fouled him on purpose 3 or 4 times. That's how he got 11 free throws. We win a lot of close games, and so he's going to have the ball in his hands late, and he's going to get a lot of free throws. I bet you if you look at it, and you look at the first 15 minutes or first 32 minutes, 33 minutes of games, he doesn't go to the free throw line very much. But you look at the last 8 minutes of the game, because we're ahead in a lot of games, and I'm never going to take the ball out of his hands. He's going to get to the line, and he's going to make them. So I don't care what people say. I don't care. I'm glad I got him. All right? He's really good. And he probably should be the player of the year in this league if we win it.
Anything else, Chris?
Coach, obviously injuries have been a big part of the story with Nassim, Nate, and then Isaac, and then you get another one with Kevin Beers going down with a knee injury.
Wondered where he was tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, how was the team dealing with that? And
I struggled without Beers. I mean, I was trying to figure out what to do. I think one of the reasons I was so excited, where the hell is he? At least he should have called me and let me know. I think that through the course of a season, everybody gets dinged up and has injuries. Still to this day, the greatest in my 2010, 2011 teams that went 50-3 in league play in the old Summit League will probably be mad at me for saying this, but I still think the greatest team I was ever going to have was Kendrick Nunn's senior year here. And we lost 4 starters. And then Xavier Hill-Mays was in a red shirt and didn't want to give the red shirt up. Wasn't going to force him to. So of our top 2 players played, and then 3 through 8 were gone. And we still got to the semifinals, and because Kendrick was obviously so great. But it happens. And what do? You bitch and complain about it, but it happens, and you got to get ready to play. We were getting ready to play the other night with 6 guys. When I didn't think Brody was going to play at Fort Wayne. Is that where it was? Yeah, at Fort Wayne. We were getting ready. We were changing. We had strategy playing. We were going to walk the ball up the floor. We were going to take 30 seconds to get a shot every possession. My job is to coach the old Hoosiers movie. My team's on the floor, right? My team's on the floor. I got to do my job. They're paying me to do my job. So.
Anything else?
All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.